1,000 rupees per subscriber, enterprise value, another company, which is the cheapest. Okay. When we look at IT companies, it is per employee. Okay. यहाँ पर मैंने लिया टन लिया हुआ ना, अगर आप कोई IT कंपनी कंपेयर कर रहे होगे तो IT में क्या है, मेजर स्ट्रेंथ क्या है, एम्प्लॉइज है. So we will make enterprise value divided by employees. For banking companies also, what we will do? Per employee. For any telecom companies or any company which is dependent on subscribers, it will be per subscriber. EV per subscriber valuation. Okay. Like when Facebook purchased WhatsApp, it paid a money of $60 per subscriber. Okay. They calculated the valuation of WhatsApp because WhatsApp was not, fully. Uto, get up, fast. Otherwise, भारी कर दूंगा सीधा. यहाँ आ जाओ. Go there. So, companies can. So I'll just talk about that also detail little later. Okay. So this is the EV per ton. Okay. Now a little bit of theory. Okay. So I'm just opening a file and share you the PPT, though I think I might have shared with you, but I'm just shared you. So there is a PowerPoint presentation on relative valuation. Okay. So this is a theoretical one. So this is a bit theoretical one. It may, I'll try to move and touch only the finer parts because it will become a little boring for you to, listen to a lot of theory. But I will advise all of you to go through this PPT as much as possible. Okay. This I have made with the help of a great, person I have, used the material which is called Damodaran. I have used a lot of material. Okay. And this is one of the, best this thing. I have tried to simplify the whole thing. Instead of reading a big book of Damodaran, you can just read this. Okay. So relative valuation. Just read, Yashika.
In discounted cash flow valuation, the objective is to find the value of assets given their cash flow, growth, and risk given their cash flow, growth, and risk characteristics. In relative valuation, the objective is to value assets based on how similar assets are currently priced in the market.
Okay, just focus on, don't forget the discounted one, which we will do later on. So in relative valuation, the objective is to value assets based on how similar assets are currently priced in the market. So what we are trying to do, find the similar assets. As we have seen the cement industry, there are 7 players. So we are trying to see which is the cheapest. Okay, fine. So now there are 2 components of relative value: standardizing the prices first, and second is finding similar firms. Okay. पहले क्या है, आप प्राइजेस को स्टैंडर्डाइज कर दोगे, लाइक PE रेशियो स्टैंडर्डाइजिंग, EV to EBITDA standardizing, and just compare all the companies in terms of EV to EBITDA, price earning ratio, which is better, which is this thing. So you are standardizing. Okay. Then before you do that, find out the similar companies. Now similar companies, we look all the cement companies, we say they are all similar, they are all manufacturing cement companies. Okay. But this is not going to be all the time a great similarity, but still we tricks to the basics and just go for looking the but similar firms will be the companies which are similar risk. जिस company का risk same है, क्या same है? Now how do we measure risk? For example, beta. So if the companies are having almost similar beta, we say they are having similar risk. Is that okay? Growth. If all the companies are growing at 20-25%, though we can say all the companies are similar. अगर हर कंपनी 20% अर्निंग पर शेयर ग्रो करेगा आगे जाके, we say it's growth. And then the cash flows. Similarly, the cash flows also growing. Okay, all companies are growing in a similar direction. Then we say the companies are similar. Okay. Otherwise, if you don't know how to calculate, just look at the industry. Cement industry, all companies are similar. Forget about the risk, the growth. You say all are similar. I am doing my analysis, and then you can always fine tune. There is any company which is not growing, you can say this company is an outlier. So I am excluding, or this is distorting my analysis. Okay, they say that most of the world, everywhere in the world, people are using relative valuation because it is much easier to make your presentations, and then tell people. People understand the language of relative valuation. As you have understood, it was not a difficult one, isn't it? सबको समझ आ गया. So relative valuation is very easier to explain to the people, okay? And it is not a lot of data dependent. है data dependent, but not that compared to the discounted cash flow technique, okay? So these are the the positives of our mechanism, relative valuation. Less time and resource intensive. It is easier to sell. You can always sell people that this company Ultratech is the best company out of the whole pack because it is its growth is around 40% per annum. Relatively, it is cheaper. Okay, if you look at the forward P multiple or the PEG ratio, it is good. So you can always convince the people, okay, because you have a lot of tools and simple things which you can tell people how they are good. Easier to defend. If somebody wants to raise a hand and say, sir, please, so you can always defend your work. योर एनालिसिस. जैसे आप यहाँ ग्रुप प्रेजेंटेशन देंगे और मैं आपको कोई काउंटर करेगा तो यू कैन ऑलवेज डिफेंड योर सेल्फ. दिस इज माई थिंकिंग. ओके, देन रिफ्लेक्ट्स द करंट मार्केट मूड. अब क्या है ये, आज की डेट की जो आज मार्केट चल रही है उसके हिसाब से आपने वैल्यूएशन करी है. अगर आज हर चीज़ महंगी है तो आप एक महंगी कंपनी को भी कह रहे हो खरीद लो. अगर आज आप हर चीज़ सस्ती है तो आप उसमें से सबसे सस्ती कंपनी ढूंढ रहे हो. सो दैट इज द ओनली ड्रॉबैक बिकॉज द रिलेटिव वैल्यूएशन डजंट लुक it looks the current market mood, okay, and tries to value the thing. आज की डेट में मैंगो 100 रुपये किलो हैं और कहीं पर 80 रुपये मिल रहे हैं तो आप बोलोगे 80 वाला सस्ता है. अगर मैंगोज जो है 60 रुपये हो जाए अगले हफ्ते में बिकॉज द लॉट ऑफ हार्वेस्ट, सो बिकम चीपर. सो देन यू मेक अ 50 रुपीज़ एज ए नॉर्म रादर दैन 100. एक महीने पहले 100 वही सस्ती थी, 80 रुपये सस्ता था, आज 50 रुपये सस्ता है. जो मार्केट की वैल्यू है उसके हिसाब से आप बता रहे हो. तो रिलेटिव वैल्यूएशन इज बेस्ड ऑन द मार्केट मूड. ओके, फाइन. So there are certain potential pitfalls, okay, which we will do later. Now first is standardizing the value and multiples, okay. Like we have first is earning multiples. जो हमने करा पहले क्या करा था, earning multiple. Example दो earning multiples के, P ratio, EV to EBITDA, okay. So if I just plug this, so we have price to earning ratio, okay, fine. Then enterprise value oblique EBITDA. So this is also an earning multiple EBITDA. Fine. So now tell me, whatever you have done, which is a better matrix, P ratio or enterprise value to EBITDA? कौन सा सही है या दोनों ही सही हैं? कुछ आइडिया है? This is taking entire company into account. This is for the equity shareholder. So we are looking the equity. This is an equity valuation. Okay, and this is considering the whole of the company's value. So people say that this is better than this. Okay, and we'll understand that each हम एक एक चीज को देखेंगे. Fine. So enterprise value upon EBIT. So these are the three kinds of multiples. Fine. और यही आपको निकालने आगे चाहिए. फिर है बुक वैल्यू मल्टीपल्स. आप यहाँ जाते हैं वापस. बुक वैल्यू मल्टीपल्स. तो बुक वैल्यू मल्टीपल्स क्या है? प्राइस टू बुक वैल्यू. अब प्राइस टू बुक वैल्यू जो है या एंटरप्राइज वैल्यू टू बुक वैल्यू एसेट्स, दे आर नॉट वेरी पॉपुलर. ओके, दे आर नॉट वेरी पॉपुलर, बट दे आर यूज्ड अ लिटिल बिट. लाइक व्हेन वी से all the companies in India currently, they are trading at price to book value of 3.5. जो प्राइस है, प्राइस टू बुक वैल्यू ऑफ ऑल इंडिया 10,000 कंपनीज इज अप्रॉक्सीमेटली 3.5. सो दैट मीन्स द कंपनीज आर ट्रेडिंग 3.5 टाइम्स देन इट्स बुक वैल्यू. जो मार्केट कैप है और बुक वैल्यू ली जाए उसकी रेशो आती है 3.5 ऑल इंडिया की. सो दैट मीन्स all the companies are trading at 3.5 times its book value. Or historically 3.5 is okay, then we say India is rightly valued. But suppose tomorrow it goes to 4, we say that India has become costlier, isn't it? So price to book value सिर्फ एक broader picture को समझने के लिए है, not company to company, okay? Because each company will have its own price to book value. But if you look at the Sensex or the Nifty, they are trading at price to book value of 3.5. Okay, but if they are trading tomorrow at say 4, जैसे मार्केट अभी बढ़ रही है, कल मार्केट 1800 पॉइंट बढ़ गया बिकॉज ऑफ व्हाट वाज द रीजन फॉर इंक्रीज इन द मार्केट येस्टरडे. कल मार्केट क्यों बढ़ी ज़्यादा? कल किसी ने वॉच करा? मार्केट हैज गॉन अप tremendously. Market has gone up. What has been the reason? One was the Prime Minister's speech which happened on Independence Day. What he told the world, to India, what is going to happen? क्या होने वाला है? पता है प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने क्या बोला अभी, और जो आप सबको अफेक्ट होने वाला है? हर चीज सस्ती होने वाली है. क्या हो रहा है? हाँ, जीएसटी जो है, जो अभी 18% है या 12% है, वो 5% हो जाएगा. जो चीज पे जीएसटी 12% लगती है, दैट विल कम डाउन टू 5%. एंड देयर विल बी ओनली 2 rates, 5% and 12%, and third rate will be 40%. So they are going to be 3 rates of GST: 5, 12 and 40. 5 will be all the essential goods, 12% will be little bit goods which we use it for little costlier ones, and then 40% like coke, cigarettes, SUV cars, so they will be around 40%. So 18% slab is getting over. So we are going to have only 2 slabs, 5 and 12, and 40 will be only for a limited kind of products like tobacco, cigarettes. Okay, they are called sin goods. sin का मतलब कोई आपने पाप कर लिया है, तो पापी गुड्स हैं वो. आप कैंपा पीते हो, कोको कोला पीते हो, दे आर पापी हैं, मतलब दैट इज गोइंग टू स्पॉइल योर स्टमक एंड हेल्थ. ओके, फाइन. सो sin goods 40%, rest all other product at 5 and 12. So this is going to be one of the biggest reform which is going to happen in India. And he says, I'll give this as a Diwali gift to the people of the country. तो दिवाली के आते आते जो है आपके टैरिफ्स कम हो जाएंगे, and normal things like toothpaste, biscuits, all the daily essential things will become cheaper by about 8 to 10%. Is that okay? The cars which are being charged at 28%, they will be charged at now 12%. Fine. Is that okay? So, sorry, it will be 5 and 18, ऐसा कुछ है, दोबारा देख लेना जो भी है. Okay. So price to book value. Is that okay? No, that was one. And what was the second factor which led the market to go up? दूसरा फैक्टर क्या था? एक तो था जीएसटी रिफॉर्म. 3 फैक्टर्स थे. अभी रिसेंटली द वर्ल्ड क्रेडिट रेटिंग एजेंसीज हैव re-rated India from a BBB minus to a BBB plus. Not plus. So we have been up, our rating has been upgraded from a BBB minus to a BBB. Like America is AA. Earlier it was AAA, now it has come down to AA, and India, which was BBB minus, has become BBB. Okay, now a BBB rating or BBB minus rating is a last investment grade rating. That means if a country falls below that, nobody is going to touch that country. Nobody is going to invest in that country. So if our rating goes up from BBB to BB and single B, it will be far better. But BBB is also very good. We become an investment grade, so that means other people can invest in India. Okay, fine. So that was one. The rating upgrade happened after almost like 10 to 15 years back. Our rating was like that, and it has become better. So rating has become better. Third thing, so there was a talk between Putin and Trump, peace talks in Ukraine. Okay, and yesterday we had a talk of all the Zelensky and the European leaders talking to Trump for bringing peace in Ukraine area. Fine. So all these were and because if that happens, if the Russians and Putin is going to mend his relation with Trump, it is going to benefit India. Okay, because then we have from 27th of August we will have 50% tariff on our products. So he is going to lift that. If he finds that Russia is okay, they are ready to cease fire, and then there is no need of penalizing India. So we may have a better economic atmosphere. Okay, fine. So all this lifted the morale, and the markets rose up. So 3 कौन से factors थे? GST.
The first one
जी हाँ
up 5%, 3% of.
नहीं वो तो ठीक है, जीएसटी बोल दो। और
Second was the अभी Trump और पुतिन का Alaska.
हाँ, जो talks between the Putin and Trump, and then talks with European countries and the president of Ukraine, and the third one, the credit up rating, the credit upgrade which has happened by Standard & Poor, the credit rating agency. India has been upgraded, okay, so which has actually lifted the morale and the markets are rising. Just check today how much the Sensex has gone up in terms of percentage, whether it's gone up or gone down. Gone down, okay, fine. तो तुम ध्यान रखते हो हर चीज़ का, ठीक है. So maybe that it had gone up and then it comes down, it will keep going and up and down, okay. But yesterday it had gone up, okay. Then we have, revenue multiples. Instead of looking at the earning multiples, we can always look at the revenue multiples, price to sales ratio, and enterprise to sales ratio. Fine. So which is a better, price to sales or enterprise to sales? The numerator and denominator should be consistent, I told you. Is it consistent here? Yes or no? Yes or no? No. Here, yes. यहाँ price है. Price means market cap upon sales. So you are taking a numerator which reflects the shares and the sales which has been used by the entire assets of the company. So these are not, in line. Here we are taking enterprise value, which is the value of the whole company, okay, includes whatever, whether you use debt or equity, and you have used all the resources to make your sales. So this is a more and more acceptable, revenue multiples. But this multiple has been also used and it is quite popular under certain conditions. Conditions when the company doesn't have any debt. Then the price becomes the market cap. Here also enterprise value will have only the market cap, there will be no debt. Okay. So जब price to sales जो है, जिसमें company में zero debt है, तो price to sales and enterprise value to sales will be same. Is that okay? Then we come to this thing. Okay, this is very good. Enterprise value upon ton of steel for all the steel companies, like we done ton of cement. So we can do, these are sector specific multiples. Sector specific multiples. Enterprise value upon kWh. That means this is for power generating companies. What is the value of a company per kilowatt of power being produced? Okay. Then we have EV upon subscriber. Telecom companies. I told you that earlier days, we were trying to buy other companies based on EV upon subscriber. जैसे WhatsApp was being bought because WhatsApp was not a limited company or listed company. Okay, fine, and it was not having financials. So when the company doesn't have the profit loss account or balance sheet or something, then we look at this ratio. For startup companies, for the companies which are new companies like Zomato earlier or Swiggy, now of course all these companies are listed and they have their financials in place. So all EV to subscriber was one of the method of finding out which is cheaper and which is costlier. Okay, like WhatsApp was bought at $60 per subscriber. जितने उसके कस्टमर हैं उसकी वैल्यू, जितने वैल्यू पे फेसबुक ने खरीदा था, they paid $60 per subscriber to buy WhatsApp. Okay, Facebook purchased WhatsApp by paying $60 per subscriber. So they are saying it's very costly. Fine. Then we have EV per employee. EV per employee कौन सी कंपनी के लिए बेटर होगा? EV per employee. Just name me the company, industry. IT companies, yeah. And banking and defense, yeah, fine. Defense, not defense manufacturing, but defense. If the company, if defense is basically, that's not a company as such. So your answer is not actually, but defense may be something else. Okay, is that okay? Is that clear? Then valuation, U of so there are a lot of positives and negatives. Okay, EV upon sales. So पहले लेते हैं हम EV upon sales and then we have EV of EBITDA. Okay, So we focus on EV upon EBIT, positive. पहला positive क्या है? Just read. So this is EV upon EBITDA, less affected by accounting policy differences, because here less compared to price earning ratio, because a net profit is more dependent on accounting policies. EBITDA is before, I mean all that, so it is somewhere in the middle. Okay. Better profitability comparison versus EV upon sales. So this is EV upon EBITDA. Okay. ये कौन सा है? EV upon EBITDA. So we are talking about EV upon EBITDA. So EV upon EBITDA, better compatibility, better profitability comparison versus EV upon sales. EV upon sales is better है because EV and EBITDA considers the profitability also. Okay. Capital structure neutrality and excludes non-operating. तो पहला पढ़िए. Just read this yourself, everyone in your mind. इसको पढ़िए अच्छी तरह से. Just read yourself and ask me question. Otherwise, I'll ask you questions. If you don't understand, ask me questions. Please. If you have read it and followed it 50%, आपको 50% भी समझ आ गया तो प्लीज हाथ खड़े करिए. I won't ask any questions. Even if you have understood 50% what is written, please raise your hands. You have followed it. Okay. You have got it. आपको आ गया. दोबारा पढ़िए. Okay, very good. Just keep reading, and if you have any doubts, please ask me question. अगर आपको कोई डाउट है तो क्वेश्चन पूछ लीजिए. Please ask question. कोई आपका हाथ खड़ा हो गया? 50% आ गया. Okay. Who have not understood at all, please raise your hands. इसमें भी कोई आदमी हाथ खड़ा नहीं कर रहा. तो क्वेश्चन पूछो इसमें. कोई क्वेश्चन पूछो. Please ask. I'll answer it. Okay. EBITDA excludes. Okay. Now, less affected by accounting policy. EBITDA excludes item that can varily widely used accounting depreciation methods. Okay, like when we are taking EBITDA, that is before depreciation. Okay, so that means the depreciation can distort the company's profitability, because some companies are using straight line method, some companies are using written down value method. Some companies in India we have the Companies Act, which defines the rates of depreciation. In America they are their own acts. So everybody have their own rates. So if you are comparing two companies of two different countries, you can't compare them, because everywhere the accounting policy with regard to depreciation is different. Okay, so EV to EBITDA जो है, it becomes international comparison much easier, because it excludes the depreciation. Okay, and income tax, because the income tax is different across the world. Okay, so you are trying to find the profit before paying tax, before charging depreciation, before charging amortization. Okay, or before charging interest. तो इंटरेस्ट भी नहीं लगाया आपने. आप कई कंपनी ने उधार पे पैसा लिया हुआ है. Some people have taken a lot of debt, some companies have not taken a lot of debt. So the profitability of the company will differ, because depending upon how much capital you are using of your own, as well as how much capital you have borrowed. So what you are trying to do is EV to EBITDA neutralizes everything. कैपिटल स्ट्रक्चर को न्यूट्रलाइज कर देता है. आपने पैसा कहाँ से लिया है, खुद का लगाया है या उधार पे लिया है, इट इज डिसरिगार्डिंग EV upon EBITDA. So the comparison become much easier. The which company is more profitable, which company is less profitable, isn't it? Because it is based on pure operational parameters. ठीक है, ब्रेक रखते हैं फिर. So we'll meet at 10:30. So there is a 10 minutes break. Okay, fine.